let's do this. I want to talk about membership sites today because if there is something that people should really, really focus their attention on, it's membership sites. The possibility of creating a subscription type service where there's recurring revenue that takes place with it is amazing. And I think that there's no better way to do that or deliver it than to deliver it through a membership site. Now, the problem that I've had with membership sites, and this is where I started out in this business at years ago, was with creating membership sites. The problem with membership sites is that they've been made too complicated, or they have you have no control. That's an issue. They're too complicated. You have no control. I was going to make a list of these things, and I made an app instead. They operate inside of WordPress, and WordPress is a disaster. There's too many conflicts that take place. We spent 2 years with a site that and spent tens of thousands of dollars on a site that had just too much conflict with WordPress. Every time WordPress would update, we'd have a problem. Every time that WordPress would update, or every time the plugin would update, then we had people that got locked out of their site. It was just a nightmare. And we tried all kinds of different plugins. We tried all kinds of different platforms inside of WordPress, only to create just more problems and more frustration. So the other thing is that when people have moved off of WordPress and done a self-hosted type site, what has happened frequently is that that site has contained either too many things, or it is singularly the vision of the person who created it without listening carefully to the input of the people who are using it, and it becomes unusable. It becomes awkward and clunky, and very rarely is gamification a necessity. And when all of the focus is on gamification, and by the way, there's ways to accomplish gamification without building it into the website, but without it becoming awkward and clunky, there's no reason for that to be an issue. So I really like membership sites, and I have used a variety of different membership sites over the years. My most recent use of a membership site was Product Dino. And while I really like it, I like the handoff in it. You need to have a really good, clean handoff between your payment processor and your membership site, so that so that your membership site activity is monitored by your payment processor, and you not have any clashes there, because that's frequently an issue that takes place. And if, by the way, I mentioned anything that's been an issue with anybody, please note that, so that we'll have a record of the, or if you think that I'm just nuts and the direction I'm talking about here has not been a problem that you've had, let me know that as well. But I'd really like to hear your feedback on this, because this is important feedback on what makes a membership site work really well. I'm going to build a quick membership site today. I'm going to show you some of the tools that are available in Thunderbird Web Tech, and why I believe that they are the best way to go about accomplishing the quick build of a membership site. All right, no comments, so I don't know if I'm still connected, but make sure that you let me know what's going on, so that I'll know how to proceed. So, Dorn, what's been your experience? Would you agree that with some of the things I just said about membership sites? Because there's one thing I didn't mention. One thing I didn't mention, and this one frustrates me a little bit. I don't even have an explanation for this one. It seems like everybody who's ever started out to build a membership site, at somewhere along, not to build one like I'm talking about building here, but I'm talking about building a membership platform, at some point along the way goes nuts. And I don't know what happens to them. They kind of wig out, and it's like, oh, wait a minute, this is crazy. And so I like to have a little more stability than that. So with all of those things in mind, we developed a membership. We're in the process of making the Thunderbird Web Tech have what I think is going to be an amazing membership site. We have a couple of releases that we were hoping to get through testing by today. It looks like it'll probably be the end of the week. And it really has more to do with that handoff, because again, that's the most important piece of the puzzle. And that is, if I have a monthly recurring revenue coming from my membership site and somebody's debit card doesn't clear or their credit card gets maxed out or something like that, then I need to be able to notify them, shut them down, give them a notice, give them an option, do something with them. And that handoff is difficult to do, that two-way handoff kind of thing with webhooks and all of that. And I know people who have built these sites, and as Dorn says, this is where the support nightmares come from. I've got people who got access to the site and weren't supposed to, or I have people who haven't paid in 6 months and they've had 6 months access to the site. All those things are issues. And so we've been trying to resolve that and want to make sure that we make this really easy and the handoff becomes really simple. So we've been testing it in a process that I'll not share with you at this point. We'll share that with you later on when we talk about forms. But yes, shared logins, direct URL bypass, all of those kinds of things. Yes. Those are never-ending battles with membership sites. And so we've got the recurring revenue, the handoff, the webhook, all of that process down. We're just about ready to release that. I spent the weekend testing on it, and I think that this is going to be pretty cool. So let me start out by saying that I really like dashboards. I think dashboards are a cool way to deliver content. And so I've been working with Marlon Sanders for several years. Marlon's been a friend of mine for a long, long time. And Marlon is a big fan of dashboards, and he's made a fortune on dashboards. And I've not only has Marlon done it, but Matt and Joe have done that. There's been a whole bunch of people who have built dashboards, and I love it. I think it's amazing. You give somebody an access to a site that looks like this. And then from inside of here, you've got a couple of options. You can give them additional information about what that website's all about, or that membership site's all about, or you can take them directly into the site itself. And I'm gonna do one of these here. Let's see, which one am I gonna do? We'll do this one, Facebook Messenger bots. Now, the cool thing about this site, and I've shortened my screen here so it looks a little funky. It's running my dash into here, which it shouldn't be doing. There we go. That'll get that back out where it goes. All right. The cool thing about membership sites is that you have the ability to be able to put all kinds of stuff in here. You can do a lot of different things with it, but I want to show you how to build this thing from scratch. And the reason why I like the block builder process that we've developed with Thunderbird website better than I like anything else on the market. And I'm going to go over here to the back end of a membership site that I just put together, and I'm going to show you what's, if you were to have just a membership site at Thunderbird, this is exactly what it would look like. It would come like this, and you would have it would be loaded with the following pages. I've added the webinar sample here, and I'll show you why, either on this call today or next Wednesday, one or the other, depending upon how time goes and how long my voice holds out. But a membership site at Thunderbird Web Tech comes loaded with a pricing page, comes loaded with a home page, the course list, which looks like, and this is exactly what that looks like, is this page back here. Gives you the ability to be able to build a dashboard like this. That's what that course list looks like. It comes with a thank you page. I like this one because it has the option, if somebody wants to offer a training program on the platform, they can do that, and so they can apply to be a teacher here. I'll take you through these things in just a second. This is where the courses are listed for purchase, and then you can sell them in a store. Okay, so you have all of those capabilities, and that's exactly how this thing comes loaded, just like this. Has all of those things already built into it. So I have taken this and I've added a couple of, I've linked a couple of the pages together, and that's really the only thing that I have done so far. So this is the home page that we're looking at right here. And we're in the back office, so it always takes a little more loading to do and that kind of a thing. But this is a simple way to build this. You can give a free option. You can give them the ability to be able to purchase different levels of your program, and then you have this right here. Let me just open this up in a new window, and you'll see what I'm talking about. So this takes you right down to, and so you're using an anchor text from here, takes you right down to your option here. Somebody can register to start, or they can get access right now. And this actually is the page that I'm going to use I'm going to build this page for you right now. But that would take you to that course if it had been purchased or if you were logged in. Okay. All right. So let's take a look at building, because the real complicated thing isn't the site. The real complicated thing is the course. So let's go over here and take a look at the courses list, and I'll show you what we have on the courses list. When you go to the courses list, it shows up as a portfolio. You can change that name if you wanted to, but I just leave it as courses list in the portfolio. You have a template page where you can actually design the template so that you don't have to start from scratch every time. I've created my own template page right here. And the template page, and the reason why I do this is I want a headline, I want an explanation. I always want a video from me saying, welcome to the course. This is what we're going to do in this course. This is where you'll find this. This is where you'll find the way to be able to ask questions. This is what you do if you run into a problem. This is what a quiz looks like, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So I think it's really cool to be able to have that already built into your template. And I have my video right here. So having a similarity, I've tried several different designs, and you'll see that in just a little bit. But I like to be able to have that information at the beginning of my course. And then we get into the course. And I might want to put an explanation of the course in here. But again, this is a widget built, being built with blocks. And so I could put an explanation right here that would give me an explanation as to what the course is about, et cetera, et cetera. All right, any questions so far? Do you see what we're doing? I'm going to show you something magical here in just a second. But I need to know we're all on the same page. All right, watch this. This is really cool. So this is lesson 1, right? This is lesson 1, and I'm going to create, every lesson is going to have the same kind of look. It's going to have text. It's going to have a heading identifying it as lesson 1. It's going to have a video. I've got a whole bunch of videos. As a matter of fact, this site right here, I went and bought the best videos that I could get on training in these various areas of Facebook. I bought the best videos, the most current videos. The oldest video on here was made at the end of April. And so I went and bought the very best I could get, because I've not been able to create all of that myself. And sometimes you can go get something from somebody else that's just as good, if not better. So what I did was I took their videos, and then I applied my simple makes awesome easy process to it, and created a membership site out of this, and I made them available on this dashboard. So let's take a look over here. I want to show you something that I think is really cool and is often overlooked, but it's the power of a block-built website. And we're going to take that and we're going to build a membership site for it, because most of your blocks in a membership site are identical, correct? Most of your blocks are going to be pretty much identical. So the one thing I do want to do, though, is I want to add a for more information kind of button down here at the bottom. So I'm going to actually put a button right down here at the bottom. I'm going to add a link to this. And I could, this is what's really cool about this. I don't have to remember where those things are at. I've always got this right here. I've got everything that I need. If I want to take this to the store, I can do that. If I wanted them to purchase an additional product, I could do that. If I wanted to take them to an anchor spot and it automatically takes them to the quiz at the end of the lesson, I could do that. I could download a file. And so this actually opens up your file folder over here. And I always call that course assets. I don't have any in this because this is a brand new site I created just for today's webinar. And I did this about an hour before I took my nap this morning. But I can load a file in here. Let's go ahead and do this. You'll see what I'm talking about. And I'm going to take this file right here, effective automation, which, by the way, I've been putting that file out for a long, long time. It's been a very popular file that I have. You can also create a pop-up and have a pop-up show up. If I wanted to have an additional video, I could put the video in a pop-up, and I could do that if I wanted to do that, okay? So I'm going to change the color of this button. And to change the color of it, you go to Edit Styling. I'm going to change the button color to this. That leaves a little black border around the outside of it, which I think is funky, so I remove that. Change my text style over here. I like to use this one right here. I don't know what that is, but I like to use it. Change that to 22. Make my letter spacing one space between them. And then I like my buttons to look like buttons, right? So I radius my corners to 22, and that's it. All right. So now I've created an info button here. I want that info button not to be right on top of my video. So I grab another widget, pull a spacer in here, put that like that, move that down to about 12 pixels, and it looks good. Okay, are y'all with me? Now I can do that exact same format for absolutely every lesson in the course. By coming over here, clicking on block, hit copy, and now I go over here, grab that container, put it right there. I've now repeated that exact same format. I've now repeated that below. How easy is that? You got to give me some love for this one because I thought this was magical. Is that I'm delusional, one or the other? How quickly can you build a site if you already have your videos someplace, you already have your text someplace? How quickly can you build that site? I will answer that question for you because I have an answer. I'm going to show you. And updating it is very simple. Now watch. I want you to see this. I believe that it's this one right here. I built that one in less than 40 minutes. But I didn't like the layout of it. So I believe the next one that I did was, I've had a nap, so I can't remember. That's my problem. This is it right here. I built this site. Notice I don't have a more information button down here, but I built this site doing what I just showed you how to do. I built this entire site, copying and pasting the content right here and taking my Screencast-O-Matic links right here and dropping that code into my code box that you saw right here. I built this entire site in 40 minutes. I agree, Dorn, that would be a really good option. What we can do is this. We can add an anchor link and take you to each lesson. And I really have thought about doing that. And we can certainly take it back to the top too if we wanted to do that. And the other thing that I would like to be able to do there, and I really need to have them focus right now on getting the recurring revenue piece taken care of. But I think that would be a huge improvement. So as you see something, be sure and let me know. But do you see how easy this is? Because I can save the entire block and I can just add the block down here. I'm off to the races. Yeah, we can do that with the anchor links. And here's what I can do, and this is really easy. We can create your template the way you want it and make sure that the template always does exactly what you want it to do. Yeah, I created this Facebook dashboard over here just for the sole purpose of being able to test out the different looks before I actually established the dashboard itself. But there were several things that I needed to make sure we were going to do easy. But if I can build a website from start to finish, the problem is not the content. The problem is getting the content so that it looks good and it makes sense inside of the platform. But again, you're looking at the this is the style Eric likes. You may not like it, but whatever it is, you can build it and you can copy it, and then you'll have that. Now, let me show you what's really cool about this. Okay, go back over here to courses. Are y'all still able to see me okay? And I'm going to create a new course. Okay. So to create a new course, I've got to come up with a new image. Yes, you'll have an opportunity to template your page. So if I add a brand new one, I'll have my template, and I can use that template any way I want to. If I want to edit that template and make it something else, then I can. And again, when you're looking at this from a block builder standpoint, I can actually test things if I want to. So I can put a block ahead of this. All right. I can add a block. What kind of introduction do I want here? And let's see, I want a different kind of video, because I think you'll find this pretty interesting. This is how you build the dashboard. Under the pages, and you can call this anything you want to. I have it right here for course list, and this is how it comes in the platform. Okay. But this again is a widget, and this is my widget right here. It's called portfolio. I bring the portfolio widget over here, and then I just add items to it. And so when I add the items, they're right there. Now there's a little layout that you want to do with that. You notice over here I have a gap between these. Show you how I arrived at that. Come over here to the settings, and I put a padding in there. I think this padding is about 10%. That's a little more than that. But that's all you have to do, okay? And you can build the dashboard right there. I mean, it's really easy to build the dashboard. Then what you do is, and again, this is intended to be kind of a high-level overview, but I go over to the store, and I create a product. And I'm going to create a membership product. I'm going to call this because after all, everybody ought to have a store item called puppies. They really should, I think. And I thought I had a puppy picture right here, but I don't see it. So, all right, what we'll do instead is I'll just grab this image right here and stick it in there. Okay, so that's going to be my image. So now I have an image right here. And I select what membership group I want this in. If I want to build a dashboard, which again, I go back to, I love the whole dashboard concept. I think it's amazing. If I can give you access to 3 courses for the price of 2, and I don't have to do anything different, I just put them in a collection, then that becomes awesome, right? Do y'all agree with that? I mean, if I have 6 courses on my platform, I can bundle them together. I can have a marketing course. I can bundle them together and put them in the platform together. Okay, I think that's really where the awesomeness comes from. So what you do to do that is this. You click on this Engage tab right here. And on this Engage tab, I'm actually going to save this before we go. I'm going to select a group and I'm going to come back and unselect it in just a second. Well, come on, Eric. Product category. I'm just going to call this one course. Hey, Larry. All right. So I have these courses, okay? I now have these 3 courses and then these other 2 that I've just added. So what I'm going to do is go to the Engage piece right here, and I'm going to create a member group. And this member group is going to be for people who have a special people dashboard. All right. Click on this, and this will take them back to that page, that course list, and I want to open it in the same tab. Are you with me? How easy was that to set up? Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to the store. I'm going to add this dashboard. This is going to be my dashboard, okay? It's a membership. It's going to be dashboard. I've got to give it an image. So I have to grab a file. See, I probably should have done this instead of taking a nap, but I decided to take a nap instead because there has to be an image there. Yeah, the nap was definitely a priority for me today. Now, over here where it says, yes, so now under membership groups, I'm going to add this one right here, okay? I'm going to click on this, make my category here. And I'm going to save it. I'm going to go back over to the builder. Go into my course list, and I'm going to actually delete this block, and we'll put a new block in. And we'll start from scratch. You know what I'm missing? Does anybody know what I'm missing? I need to have a new item, and this is going to be puppies. We're going to use that file right there. Now we're going to publish it. Where'd it go? There it is. I need to give it a page. Now watch what happens, Dorn. I've got two products right here that I want to put in my store. So I go back over to the store. I'm sorry. I go to engage. I've got to create a membership site for each one of those. So we're going to have a puppies site, and we're going to have a group called Eric Only. All right. Now go back to the store, open up this store product here, and I'm going to go to this product. And I'm going to select those groups. Okay. The special people is the dashboard. Did you follow that? Because if I'm going to have two products in it, the two products have got to be here under the member groups. That way the handoff works. So that when they make the purchase or when they log in, that now we're giving them access to those other membership sites, all with a single login. Next week, I want to talk about how to put that single login into your funnel, so that when they make the purchase, the very next thing they do is they're already registered and they're taken directly to the dashboard. How cool does that sound? Want to make this as simple as possible so that at the moment, because see, listen, I've been on a lot of really, really big platforms where that whole handoff from making the purchase to getting access gets complicated because they've got to get an email. They've got to get an email. Dorn, we're going to be ready for your client. And I've already worked with the people at Stripe, and I've gone through the whole Stripe thing and figured out what to do. Yeah, if I wanted to make multiple products and just change the image and change the pricing form or change it for different people, that's how I'd clone it. But I've got everything ready, Dorn, to be able to make that switch. Okay, I just need to do the recurring payment thing, which the guys have promised me will be by Friday. But this gives them access to multiple products on the same dashboard, so that when they purchase, they're taken directly to that dashboard where they can get whatever it is they want. And the other thing that I did on my dashboard is I put this big old dominating the Facebook dashboard right back here, so that wherever you're at, when I'm inside of this platform right here, I can always come back out to the dashboard. Now, I don't know about the rest of y'all, but I haven't seen this level of functionality or ease of use on any platform that I've seen so far. Tell me if you think I'm right. Because typically what's missing, if you've got a membership site, I need to put them in a funnel so that I can get them into the membership site. Well, guess what we have right here? I can create a funnel. And I can make this go to a sales page. Here's my sales page. I can force a registration right here, so that when I force the registration, they are registered and they're taken directly to the page without having to register because they registered in order to purchase. So I've got a sales funnel and a membership site. But how do you drive traffic to a membership site by itself? Anybody know? How do you drive traffic to a site? Free content or a blog? A blog is an incredibly powerful way to do that. Let's go back to the builder here. Right here. We went through the blog on an earlier webinar, but we may do it again in the very near future. But I wanted to get this membership piece out because, first of all, because we've been testing it since Friday and have everything. Yes, you create a post and then you funnel them to the membership. You create a post and say, hey, if you'd like to have 7 free days, check this out, or whatever. You can create a dashboard that only turns on a portion of it, and then later they get the next level up, depending upon where they're at in the funnel. You can do all those kinds of things. Yes. Now, I'm going to do one more thing, and then we're going to call this a day. But has this been helpful? When you talk about membership sites, has this been helpful? Is this a new perspective on membership sites that you hadn't thought of before? Or does this have some of the things you always wish you had and never could get? For me, this is what I always wish I had and never could get. It's because I have a huge piece of the puzzle of building it, but now, if for some strange reason gamification became important, which by the way is probably only important about 4% of the sites that are built, I made that number up. But if you're going to make up a percentage number and you're going to be a politician, you could just make up a number. So I did. I made up a number. But I don't think gamification is a huge piece. But I can easily plug a gamification software into this and make it work like a charm. Is there a template for this? This is exactly the way that membership site that I just built was built. Yeah, I know. That's what I was thinking when I said that. All right. I was going to show you one more thing here. What was the one more thing I was going to show you? Yes, this is the template that comes with the membership site. Exactly. There was one more thing. What was it? It was in the questions that were asked. But you can turn any of these buttons into anything you want to. Oh, I know what it was going to. I was going to actually build a page and show you the checkout options because I love the checkout options that we've created here. I'll put in a new page, and I'm just going to do a blank page. We're going to cut this. And again, this is where you can give access here if you want to have members only or password protected. Sometimes what you'll do is you have a 4-step funnel, and step number 4 is people who have purchased are automatically put into a webinar, and this is where they register for the webinar, and you can actually make that one password protected. It's another thing we'll talk about later on funnels, okay? All right. Are y'all seeing my screen okay? I'm going to come over here and I'm going to grab what I'm going to do is, first of all, I'm going to turn this block into 3 columns so you can see 3 different pieces here. I'm going to take the first one, the first column, I'm going to put a checkout widget in that first column. I have a place where I can add my main products here. Okay. I can determine what kind of cart checkout I'm going to have. If I want them to use a cart, I can do that. We'll talk about the store at another time. But I want you, But here, Dorn, your clients are going to love this. One of the huge advantages of ThriveCart is you have a chance to create the bump sale. How about being able to put a bump offer right on your checkout page right here? I can add a bump and so on. How cool is that? Most of us purchase ThriveCart for the ability to be able to put a bump sale on. And we've built bump sale right into our client site, who they're never going to come up with $700 to buy ThriveCart. So this became really, really easy. This will not eliminate for us, Gary, the need for ThriveCart. It'll eliminate for the clients need for ThriveCart because we need it for affiliates. But for the client, yes, it eliminates that. So I have all of this cool stuff I can do with this checkout, with this simple checkout widget that we have here. But I have another one. All right. Because sometimes I need to collect additional information and maybe even have somebody pay for something like support. Okay. If I wanted to charge for support, you could actually do that right here where they're paying for X number of minutes for support. And the other widget, this is the piece that we were working on that does the handoff. Okay. Told you I wouldn't tell you about that today, but that was it. That's what we were working on. It does the handoff. Sorry, that was not the one I wanted to put in there. But because this is widget driven, put a form over here. Because this is widget driven, and again, we got all these options. I can collect any information that I want. But here's something that's really incredibly powerful. All right. You can have them upload a file. Another thing that is missing in a huge way is I need to get input back from the person in the membership site. I need to get input back from them. Show me the page that you built, or show me what you've done, or show me the score that you, or whatever it is. And I can attach this file widget right here. I'll show you I'll show you a practical use of this in just a minute. But now I can take a file off my computer and I can insert it into the form that's going to be returned. This was something that's missing in almost every membership site. I need a way to get feedback back. Now let me show you where we actually use that at. And I think you'll love this. You can give an assignment, and you can give the assignment, okay, let's build this for Somaya right now, because this is just too easy to do. I didn't put the button up there. So I'll go down here and I'll put a button widget right there. And this is going to be assignment. And I'll put a link, and that would go to a file. And I would have a file that could be downloaded, and that would be the file. And now I can have them download the file, and then they could upload it. Did you follow that, Samaya? We can give them an assignment, and they can return it. Let me show you where we use this. On the Become a Teacher, they fill out the application, And right here at the top, it says, please attach a brief example of your work using the File tab below. And they click right here, and they attach the last webinar they did, or they attach a 5-minute video or whatever. And I'd give them instruction as to what I wanted. This has been missing from every membership site I've ever seen. Would y'all agree? I needed to get stuff back. Now, I've got 2 ways I can do the assignments. I can just do a raw assignment, okay? I can do an assignment as a PDF that can be filled in. I can do that. But the bigger issue is I could do the assignment with, you're going to love this one, Dorn. I can do the assignment without Grow. I can actually make that a functional quiz that they have to finish, and they have to attach the quiz score right here as a file. I can get the information, but having them do that tells me about their level of engagement. This was huge, especially in a membership site. All right, we're coming up on an hour. Anybody have any questions?